Okay, we are now joined by our points leader, Greg Biffle. He has been leading the points since Las Vegas. 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s on the season. He has a win here at Texas back in April 2005 and comes into this race with the 3rd best driver rating at Texas, 100.8. Greg, if you can just open up talking about how practice went yesterday and what you're looking forward to tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, practice went fairly well yesterday. We were happy with the way the Filtree Ford Fusion drove, and we tried some. It gave us an opportunity to try a little bit different stuff that we don't normally get to. Some different spring and shock combinations and bars because the car was so fast right off the truck. So that made it nice. This is a good track for us. I like this racetrack, so curious to see how today's going to go. We're going to try a few different things, but we think we got a pretty good handle on the car, and hopefully qualifying goes well for us later on.
Great. Thanks a lot. We'll open it up for questions. Start over here. Please start with your name and affiliation, please.
Mark Arrow, PRN. Greg, as well as you guys have run early in the season, how important is it for you to knock out a win while you've got this kind of momentum and not let it get too deep into the year where you haven't been at the victory lane? I don't have to point out to you, you've got a little drought going on.
Yeah, definitely. Any time's a good time to win a race. And, this is some good opportunities for us. Texas and Kansas are 2 great tracks for us. We ran in our standards fairly well at Martinsville, top 10 most of the day. Unfortunately, there at the end with the 10 car and the way the cautions fell and the lucky dog, we ended up 13th. But, this is a racetrack and we got a great lineup all the way through Darlington and Dover, all these racetracks that we think we can win at. So it's important for us to win. We're trying, and we were off a little bit at Vegas, and hopefully we'll be on the money here.
As well as you've run, just to follow up on that, as well as you've run, are you kind of surprised to see it's been so long between trips to victory lane for you?
Well, considering how we ran last year, no. Considering we're only 6 in this year, and I'm not too nervous about it yet, but we get halfway through the season, we haven't won, then I will be.
Other questions for Greg? Claire?
Claire Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Brad Keselowski was talking about the rubber wearing off the track and being laid down on the track here. Can you talk about that, and also how much time you spend thinking about what it means to be at the top of the pack in points right now or not?
Well, it means a lot. I had a vacation, kind of a little getaway planned, and was hoping that I could go on that and be the point leader after Martinsville, and it worked out in my favor. So, we know as a team, and I know that we probably won't be at the top of the leaderboard the entire season, but we're certainly enjoying it now and just focusing on winning. Like Mark said, it's important for us to win, and that's what we care about really the most. Leading the points is good, but we really care about winning, and that obviously winning will continue to lead the points. So, kind of a double-edged sword there. I was listening to Brad talk about that. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Normally we get here to the track's green, gets rubber put down, the track gets slick. The cooler temperature, the track increases grip, so at night the track's going to be have a little bit more grip and a little more speed. But, everywhere we go, especially this place is classic for it. The car is super fast out of the gate. Track gets rubbered in. The groove moves up. I mean, nobody was running up the track yesterday. It started moving up in 3 and 4, but I imagine today people will be up both ends. And so, the track's just got to get rubbered in.
Over here.
Jerry Fraley, Dallas Morning News. Greg, pardon me if this is too philosophical, but have you ever even considered what it would mean for you, given your background, sort of the everyman who's done everything, to win a title?
Yeah, I sit and think about it every once in a while. I think about what it would mean to win one for me personally, and then what we have to do to win one. And it gives me good great confidence when we go to Martinsville, a place that's kind of a little bit of a nemesis for us as a company and me as a driver. And, you know, we ran respectable there. And that's one race out of the 10 chase races that you know, you have to be good at all 10 to win the title. And we can be pretty competitive at what I feel, you know, 8 or 9 of them. And that's always been a little bit of Achilles heel for me. And so the last few trips to Martinsville has been pretty good for us. And so that's the key in me winning a championship is running good there and getting through Talladega, you know, which everybody wants to do that. So, yeah, I've thought about it, and it would be something special for me to be able to do that. And I think that we have the team that can do it. Whether this year's the year, we'll just have to wait and see.
Woody?
Woody came with MRN. Greg, about the changes coming up for Kansas, this is going to be the last race on the old style and the change there. What are you expecting going in, and are you in favor or not of that?
Well, I like Kansas the way it is. You know, if they change the left side tire, put the California tire on it, or the Indy left side tire that we tested at California, it'd be a much better race. I understand they want to repave it, and so that's what's going to happen. And I'm not a huge fan of repaves because it takes a little bit for the track to get its character back, if you will. You know, we know they have to come with a fairly hard tire, a little bit slick. You know, it's hard to drive. It's hard to get side by side in the beginning. And it takes a little bit for that track to get kind of competitive again, it seems like. That's not always the case, but most of the time that's the case. Phoenix wasn't really the case. Phoenix came back, you know, and raced pretty good right away. Although, you know, we weren't really worried about real super high speeds, you know, which we may not be so much at Kansas because, you know, the corner's a little bit flatter. But, you know, it is what it is. The old tracks are fun to race on because there's a whole lot of strategy involved, and when they repave them, you know, it takes a little bit for that to come back.
Rich Phillips with the Ticket in Dallas. Greg, tell us a little bit about the conditions here as far as going from practice in day to racing at night. And also, this place is noted for wind, and we've got high winds already. Is that much of a factor at all for you guys?
Yeah, wind is definitely a factor. Yesterday you could tell in the car, you know, it played havoc getting into turn 3. It was difficult. You had to judge whether the change you made on the car was the wind or was actually the car driving different. So that made some difficulty. And it's tough going from day to night here to this practice is hard to work on your car. This practice is more of screwing you up from 2 to 3:30 than getting your car driving right, you know, because you get your car driving right from 2 to 3:30, and I promise you it's not going to drive right at 7 o'clock at night, you know. So you have to take that into consideration on what you're looking for in the drive of your car, because it is hard practicing in the day and racing at night. Charlotte is way worse with that surface, the new surface, and the way it is. It's extremely different. But here is a little closer, but still different.
Do we have other questions for Greg?
Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot, Greg.